We finally have the return of late game arena back in Fortnite, but that's not it. We also have the unvaulting of shield bubbles, shadow bombs, suppressed SMG, suppressed assault rifle, and they're not just in late game arena, they're going into the regular playlist and competitive. This on top of the new trio loadouts that we've just gotten announced for the late game arena, including charged shotguns, gold spazzers, bolt action sniper rifles, infantry rifles. There's a whole bunch of crazy stuff that just got announced in today's update. I want to cover it. Let's just jump into it. To kick things off, we have the suppressed SMG, suppressed assault rifle, shadow bombs, and shield bubbles being unvaulted. And not just that, they are going into competitive. This is part of the Shadow of Phantasm week. Basically, it's a wild week, and because it's all about being stealthy and futuristic, that's why these items are in the game. But Epic made a specific note of putting them in competitive. They could have very easily not done that. They could have just left them off, not ticked the boxes, only gone to public matches. So I believe Epic is very clearly testing these weapons and different weapons in the competitive loophole. And later in the video, when I talk about the trio loadouts for late game arena, which look amazing by the way, shield bubbles are in there as well, and they have very clearly built those loadouts with competitiveness in mind. I've reached out to a few pros. They have been discussing this in the competitive discords with pros to make sure the loadouts are competitive and they're loadouts you would go into endgame with. So Epic is making a very conscious decision to test out these old weapons and see how they go in the game. If you haven't been paying attention to the leaks, Chapter 3 Season 4 is rumored to be a superhero season. Chapter 1 Season 4, we had the Omegas and we had our first superhero season. Chapter 2 Season 4, we of course had the Marvel season. It was all focused around superheroes. It had a whole bunch of wacky, crazy items, and a lot of people believe next season is going to be the same. If you've been following the leakers, you've probably seen them making tweet after tweet about how old and crazy weapons like the planes, the mechs, all that stuff is being adjusted. They're changing the stats of them. They're changing how they work, which normally is a sign they're going to return to the game. There's no point to go back and change planes if you're not going to put them in the game, if they're just going to sit in creative. So this is all pointing towards a potentially pretty crazy season next season, and I want to see how the suppressed SMG and the suppressed assault rifle go. The biggest issue is going to be, it looks like the old, or the new weapons I should say, like Chapter 3 weapons, the Stinger SMG, burst assault rifle, hammer, they're all still in the game. And let's be honest, the suppressed SMG and suppressed AR are kind of cool. I have a lot of nostalgia. I'm not picking them up. I already know without using them, unless they've crazily changed the damage stats, they're not better than the new weapons. So I'm not going to use them to test them, but Epic is very clearly putting them in the game for a reason. So I guess we'll see how that one goes. I know myself personally, I think this chapter has a lot of potential. I think the new mechanics like sliding, mantling, sprinting, all that's amazing. The new meds, med mist, shield kegs, all of it's great. One of the only things really hurting the game right now for me personally are the weapons, the Chapter 3 weapons, and I don't think I'm alone in that. So seeing Epic bring back these old weapons, especially in late game, we've got charge SMGs, we've got spazzers, we've got, charge shotguns, we've got spazzers, whole bunch of the old weapons coming back. Epic is clearly testing something here. I'm getting excited. Unfortunately for Epic, last time we had shadow bombs in the game, we didn't have sliding, and there's a little bit of a glitch right now. If you pop the shadow bomb, you can jump, slide, jump, slide, jump, slide infinitely, and the shadow bomb never runs out, which is obviously a little bit broken. And with solo cash cup finals tomorrow, I have a feeling Epic will probably vault the shadow bombs later today to try to fix this, but while still in the game, have some fun with it. Other big notes in these patch notes, we have late game arena finally returning after being gone for almost a year. I should be in the game playing it right now because it was supposed to turn on about 3 hours ago. It's currently broken. No one is able to play it. Quite upsetting, but I'm sure by the time you watch this video later today, Epic will have it fixed. We'll all be jumping in, having a great time. I will talk about the loadouts for that in a second because we know those even without being able to jump in yet. I also wanted to mention that Zero Build Arena is no longer in the game. Zero Build Arena has been turned off. I'm guessing this is just due to participation. No Build has been incredibly successful for the game, but No Build Arena, the queues were getting very long. I didn't see a lot of people playing it outside some of the big content creators, so not surprising to see that go away. I don't know if it will come back. We also no longer have the Among Us game mode in creative. I don't know how much that affects some of you guys, but I thought I'd mention it because I saw a lot of people on Twitter freaking out that's out of the game. But the big new thing, late game arena is finally here. Let's take a look at the loadouts. Let's take a look at the loadouts for late game arena. Now, we're assuming the solo loadouts are going to be just one of these, 9-player loadouts, but for trios, it's a big deal because in solos, if you don't get the shotgun you want, yeah, it's a little bit frustrating, but you get one kill or you find some leftover loot, you switch the weapons, and you're fine. Trios, though, especially for the tournaments, some of these loadouts have a massive advantage. And I'd like to point out there is almost no mobility in late game arena. The only mobility we have is launch pads and bouncers. There is no carryable mobility whatsoever. There is no shadow bombs, there is no rift to goes, there are no shockwaves. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that plays into the meta. And also, if you have a preferred shotgun or assault rifle, you might be happy or upset to know that there are a lot of different variants where most games you are probably not gonna get the AR and shotgun that you want. But let's break down these loadouts. Now, obviously there are 3 different trio loadouts, so there is one of 3 options you're gonna get, but because you're one of 3 players, there's really 9 individual loadouts. Now, the first one, gold infantry. So infantry rifle is back in late game arena, blue striker, blue stinger, 3 big pods, 4 chug splashes, and 2 armored walls. Again, no mobility whatsoever. I like the fact they've clearly talked to someone in the competitive scene or gotten feedback, because whenever there's an infantry rifle and a striker shotgun or a pump shotgun, they pair it with an SMG, which is how you would probably run it in game. If I'm playing arena, I'm pretty confident in my aim, but I'm almost never gonna run infantry rifle, striker shotgun, and no follow-up weapon. Because if I get in the box and I whiff my striker shot and I have to follow up with an infantry rifle, I'm probably gonna struggle. So I like the fact that they've done that one as well. Player number 2 on that trio is gonna get a blue hammer, gold striker, harpoon, 4 minis, and a shield keg. Now again, when they have the gold striker and no SMG, you have a hammer AR with a higher fire rate, something that's a little bit better for hip firing, which is probably what I would carry as well. So again, I'm liking the loadouts. They've clearly used their brain on this one. Player number 3, purple infantry, gold striker, blue stinger, 3 slurpfish, 2 medkits, and a launch pad. Only 1 player is going to get the launch pad on that trio, and only 2 trio loadouts are going to get launch pads. So there is going to be a chance that you and your entire trio have no launch pad. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, but we'll see. There is a bit of RNG in these tournaments based on the loadouts you get at the start. I also find it interesting that 2 of the 3 players in this trio are going to be running infantries, but that also means 2 of the 3 players have SMGs for the spray potential. Now, these are healthy meds, by the way, as well. If between your team having 4 chug splashes, 3 big pots, 4 minis, 3 slurpfish, a keg, and med kits, yeah, it's not like, 24 splashes you walk out of chonkers with, but overall, it's really good meds to be taking into endgame. So most teams are going to be pretty healthy. I like this trio loadout number 1 for me personally because I love the infantry rifle, but you'll notice it is all strikers. There is no auto shotgun, there is no charge, and there is no spaz, which are in the loot pool as well. Moving on to trio loadout number 2. Player 1 is going to get a blue assault rifle that is a regular OG assault rifle, a gold striker, 1 shield bubble, 4 minis, and 4 chug splashes. So shield bubbles, as you guys may know, I've already talked about that earlier in the video, they are going into the regular playlist. They are going into the game. You are going to have shield bubbles back. We get to now test them out a little bit in late game as well. This could be a sign that Epic is looking to put them back in the game, especially in competitive playlists. Then we have for player number 2, purple hammer, purple auto, 3 minis, 3 big pods, a med mist, and a launch pad. So that one is the medic of the team. That is the only one I can see here on this loadout other than trio loadout 3 that has 3 med slots to play with in this one. They also are going to be the player on the team with the launch pad. Purple AR, purple auto, I don't mind that, but that is a very jump in the box kind of mentality there. A lot of players endgame do prefer to use the strikers and the pumps, but honestly, purple auto does have its place. It is the only single one fast shooting shotgun of any of the loadouts. If you like fast shooting shotguns, like the auto, like the tac, you're gonna have to hope you'll play it 2 on trio loadout 2 or swap it with your teammates. We'll see how we go. Player number 3 gets purple infantry, gold striker, blue stinger, 3 slurpfish, and 2 medkit. Again, if you get the infantry rifle, you're always gonna have that follow-up stinger, but then again, gold striker with that as well. It's pretty good. That is gonna be the 2 teams that get the launch pads. Trio loadout 3, none of them are getting launch pads, but they are gonna both have bouncers, which is interesting to see. So player 1, blue hammer, gold charge shotgun. So we do have a charge shotgun coming back. I'm a huge fan of the charge. I'm excited to try this out. Then you have 2 medkits, 4 minis, 4 chug splashes, and 2 bouncers. So first off, charge is going to change things up massively. This could be, again, another sign of Epic testing these weapons to see whether they're going to go into competitive next season. We've already been told next season is going to be a throwback season. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I've always said that bouncers and launch pads should be in the game permanently. They should be in every single competitive season. And if you want to have more mobility on top of that, shockwaves, shadow bombs, that that kind of stuff. Build it around launch pads and bouncers. I think launch pads and bouncers should be a staple of the game, and they should never go away. Players should come to expect they're going to be in the season. They should learn how to play around them because they are, in my opinion, the most balanced form of mobility, and it's recyclable mobility. So it requires you not to have it yourself, but you can find someone else who has it, recycle theirs. It's good for the game. I think almost everyone can agree on that. Now, Trio Loadout 3 Player 2, you have a blue assault rifle, purple striker, green flintlock, another personal favorite of mine. I'm loving this so far. 3 slurpfish, med mist, and then you have no traps. So seeing the green flintlock come back, especially for a follow-up after a purple striker shot, will be very, very interesting. Then we have purple bolt sniper rifle, gold spaz, blue stinger, 3 big pods, 3 minis, and 2 bouncers. Now, purple bolt sniper, it's not going to one-shot headshot unless they've changed it, which we're going to have to see, but no one-shot headshot. So I don't know how much I'm going to care to run a sniper. It's going to feel a bit weird being this player, right? Like if you're now on 4th or 5th zone right now, players are rotating in, all you've got is a purple bolt sniper and a stinger, you're not going to hit too many shots compared to teams that have double infantry rifles. But once you get further into that late game, I guess maybe taking a headshot sniper on high ground, this is the one loadout that confuses me a bit. Yes, you have the gold spaz, which everyone's going to be obsessed with, and the blue stinger, but you don't have any range outside of a sniper that doesn't one-shot headshot. So interesting to see how that one plays out. Personally, I feel like a lot of people are just going to be seeing someone with a purple bolt sniper. They're going to know they have the spaz, and they are going to key that kid. That's how solos is going to go for me. If I see a kid with a purple bolt sniper, I know he has the spaz. I want that spaz. You're getting keyed. It's that simple. So I don't know whether this loadout is going to be a blessing or a curse. I guess we'll have to see. It's kind of like capture the flag.